So, would you rather be diagnosed by a doctor who has 20 years experience or a doctor that is straight out of medical school? I think most people would want to have the more experienced doctor, but there's a study showing that the more experienced doctors are typically worse at diagnosing rare lung and heart diseases. Why is that? Well, whenever people go to school, they see a wide variety of cases, and how often they see certain cases is not like it's not based on the real world. Like when you go to school, you will see a lot of theories, and maybe these theories are like in reality they don't show up very often. So the nature of our lives is that, some situations will be very, 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 very common, and some situations will be very, 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 very uncommon. And when it comes to diseases, like if a doctor is not seeing those rare diseases, then that doctor will be over time getting worse at learning how to diagnose those illnesses. And there's a similar finding when it comes to finding coders. So developers can either be junior or senior developers, like people who are experienced or people that have very little experience. In the US, there's a company called TripleByte, and what they've found is that the senior developers are not as good as the junior developers in solving algorithmic challenges that are, the type of challenges that you typically learn in computer science classes at the university. And the reason for this is that whenever a person goes from a junior coder to a senior coder, they will also change. So there's basically 3 steps. Like there's going to university, becoming a coder, and then the junior developer and the senior developer. And the important thing to realize is that experience of these 3 things is somewhat different. Like the university courses, you will learn a lot of theory, and then whenever you become a junior developer, you will have more practically apply that theory. And then when you're becoming a senior developer, you are doing more like architectural work and stuff like that. So the important thing to realize is that years of experience, which is like the proxy we use to evaluate skills in candidates, is not always like a good measurement, because more experience doesn't need to implicate that more of the same thing. So what we need to do is that we need to actually go down and look at the actual working tasks that the person has. A typical example would be like hiring a salesperson, and more senior salesperson will maybe not do as much of cold calling as a junior person. So if you need to find a person that is like doing cold calling, like you should obviously go for a person who is more junior, because they will have a lot of training on that. So I think it's important to break up the overall subject matter, like sales or software development or whatever it is, into specific tasks, and then see how much experience people have on this specific small task. And you can do this either by interviewing people, but you can also do this with like various tests. And there's a lot of testing solutions that you can use in order to like make your skill evaluation process more fine detailed.